The poem that I would like to share today on this session, on the series I have entitled Poetry Interlude Series, where I share my poetic creative side instead of the songwriting side. And I share my poem that I choose to share, and then I like to have some words of encouragement that I like to speak after I read my poem, or either just some thoughts about kind of like the theme of the poem of what inspired me to write that type of poem. So I like to share that, but I like to first read the poem first, of course, and then have some words that, are in the theme of what inspired me to write it. Sometimes in the times that I have shared poems on here, it's usually words of encouragement that I share, but this one is a little more personal. All my poems are personal, but this poem here is a little deeper in the theme, and it's going to be me speaking a little personal at the end of this. So I would like to say trigger warning if you are sensitive to information about certain type of ABUSE, because, I don't want to say the word on YouTube and, have this video deleted. So if you know what SA is and things like that, or any type of ABUSE, then if you cannot handle that type of conversation, then if you just want to just listen to the poem, you can, and that's it. Or you could stick around to the end of this video if you like. Okay? All right. So this poem that I'm going to share on this session today is the poem entitled Memories with the Most High. Some memories are better forgotten. Some memories are simply blocked. Whether if there's mind manipulations taking place, or whether if it was God. The Most High knows best when it comes to the mind. The Most High knows best if certain memories would do more damage to someone than just make them cry. I'm thankful that some of mine were blocked by the Most High, but He still let me know. By that time, He knew that I was ready to be blown as the winds go. As the wind blows on my face, it dried up all my tears. Some of those still fall sometimes, but I still no longer have any fears. I stopped having fear within me a long time ago. The Most High God had my back then, and I didn't even know. An unforgettable experience shown me that about myself. An unforgettable experience had taught me that I'd been left fear behind on a shelf. A mental shelf that I have in the universe somewhere. And the only time I reflect and go to that shelf is to remind myself of exactly when my fear first became impaired, washed away, erased, and deleted. Extracted out of my DNA, for sure, and my strength will never be depleted. And I wrote that poem back in the summer of 2023. But really what inspired me to write that poem was me reflecting on, and for my spiritually inclined people out there and people with a spiritual mindset, only people with a spiritual mindset could probably understand this part of this session. So, but anyway, back in 2022, when I first started doing my shadow work journey and my inner child healing journey, doing my inner child healing and my healing journey overall and things like that, I prayed a lot. And I knew that there were certain things that I needed to heal, but I knew that there was a lot of things that I did not know and that people were not going to tell me. See, I'm estranged from my whole family for many years now. And it's okay. I'm content with it by now. Like, for many years, I have been content with it. But back then in 2022, that's when I first realized that I needed to heal some things so I could become more content with people that I cut out of my life, mostly family members and former who I thought was friends and things like that. You know, fake friends, frenemies, things like that. But at the time, I thought they were real friends from years ago and things like that. Well, I cut off a lot of people out of my life. But I've been estranged from my whole family, like, for many years. But in the year 2020, that's when I cut myself off from speaking to maybe three family members, like 3 family members that I was still in touch with around that time, around 2018, 2020, somewhere around there. But the rest of the years before then, I was estranged from the rest of my family anyway, like back from in my 20s. See, I'm almost 40 now. I'm cougar age, you know what I'm saying? But back then in my 20s, you know, I was already estranged from most of my family anyway. I've been the black sheep, you know. But it was certain ways that my family members would look at me and deal with me. And I wasn't a bad kid. No, I wasn't perfect, but I wasn't just a bad kid, you know, growing up, you know. I wasn't that rebellious, you know what I mean? Yeah, I did some little stuff, whatever. Most kids, most teenagers have, yeah. But I wasn't just off the walls, just bad as fuck, you know what I'm saying? Not like that. So as I got older in my 20s, I still would see that some people in my family would look at me in odd ways, which I later found out years later that those looks that I was getting is called evil eye. And all my spiritual people know what evil eye is. If you don't, please do your own research, because this is a short video, so I'm not going to explain it. But so I started reflecting on a lot of my life, and I was like, dang, most of the people in my family that I've been around in my childhood, in my early young adult years, they were always giving me evil eye looks and stuff like that. And looking at me like I had shit on me, some of them, most of them, you know what I'm saying? And then I started getting revealed by the Most High God when I would pray about certain things, about certain family secrets that I ended up getting revealed by him and stuff, with me praying and things like that. And, you know, the Most High God revealed to me a lot of things in the year 2022 and 2023, okay? Very hurtful things. Very, very dark, deep, sadistic type of things. See, I dealt with MK Ultra type of experiences in my childhood, very young, like before 5 years old. That's why in my physical memory, I do not remember my childhood before I was 5 years old. And when I decided to do my shadow work and my inner child healing work at that part of my spiritual journey in the year 2022 and 2023, see, the Most High God revealed to me a lot of things. I prayed and I did receive. You know that saying, ask and you shall receive? Well, the Most High God made me receive those revelations that he revealed to me. And there were some deep, dark family secrets that he revealed to me about the MK Ultra type of ABUSE I went through, and SEX type of ABUSE that I went through as well. Starting very young, before 4 years old, actually. And so I had to do a lot of inner child healing with that, you know, and I worked on that. And it was very, very hard at first, but I got through it, prayed about it, and did what I needed to do, you know. And then eventually, sometime after I started doing my inner child healing work, on my spiritual journey back then in 2022, 2023 time frame, I started getting a couple of like flashbacks of memories that I've never had before. That was part of the ABUSC that I went through and stuff like that. And so I healed from that. That took some time, of course. And so I eventually found out by the Most High God, because that's who I pray to. That's who I believe in. So if you do not believe in the Most High God, please do not get offended. I'm just speaking my story here. Some of it anyway. A short version of it, actually. I'm just summarizing some, you know. So, but anyway, I ended up finding out through a lot of praying and a lot of meditating. The Most High God revealed to me a lot of things about SEX, ABUSE that I went through, you know, and I ended up finding out certain people that did certain things to me inappropriately that were elite type of people. A couple of them I know about that were actually popular people in the public eye. I'll say it like that. Because if I really said what I really wanted to say, you know, people would assume I just want clout and things like that, which I don't. You know, I'm just thinking that maybe some of my story that I'm sharing can help others stay encouraged if they're going on their healing journey, okay? But there's certain type of elite people that, a few of them actually, that I know about that have done, you know, ABUSE to me in SEX type of ways, okay? Sexual abuse, okay? And I would never try to sue or do lawsuit type of things, because I don't even want that type of like attention like that. I just made peace with it, prayed about it, and eventually just forgave everything. And there was also ABUSE that I went through from my family members as well when I was very young as well, with some more MK Ultra type of things I went through. But anyway, long story short, I healed from that, and the only reason why I healed from that and knew about the things I needed to heal that I did not know was because of the Most High God. So in the part of the poem, when I said some memories are better forgotten, some memories are simply blocked, that first line in my poem I read earlier, that's what that was pertaining to. In the part in the poem where I said, an unforgettable experience shown me that about myself, an unforgettable experience had taught me that I'd been left fear behind on a shelf. That was referring to the song, the amateur song that I wrote and posted on here that's entitled Spared by the Divine. When in September 2018, I went through a near unaliving experience, and I almost got unalived in my face, you know, and because of a gang stalking situation that I went through at that time when I used to live in California back then, and how I was so thankful that the divine, the Most High God, spared my life when he didn't have to, and things like that. But I healed from a lot. Long story short, I healed from a lot, and so I hope you do too if you need to.